have all the rehearsal times. Plus, in Hong Kong, it's hard to shoot in real location because the police always get you out of there. In the '80s, we used to poke the camera out of our van and just, let's shoot this scene. And then the police would come, and the producer would say, the producer would come in, Donnie, the police are coming. You take care of that. I don't one more shots. Just give me 5 minutes. He'd be talking to the policeman or treating him coffee. Just to give him a little bit more time. And, bottom line is it's difficult to shoot in a restrained budget, right? SPL was one of them, but we managed to pull it off.
Keeping with the choreography in this film, I think one of the things that's always marked you out as special among martial arts performers is your versatility. You did period pieces with very showy, formal kung fu. You did modern kickboxery. Of course, you've always been known for your kicks. And early on in your career, you started inserting wrestling and MMA moves into your choreography, which I think come full-blown in the finale here against Sammo. Was that always your intention going into this film, to showcase that? And have you noticed that that's caught on in sort of the choreography vocabulary of other filmmakers since?
I don't know. I mean, I think that as human being, we have endless possibilities, right? Despite your limited circumstances, I know if you focus, you can explore the possibility out there. And I always knew that that there's no such thing as cannot be better, or you cannot do certain things that people tell you you can't. Especially being an action actor, a lot of times we tend to be typecast to. Well, bottom line is we always typecast it. This is an action guy, or even if he's an icon, he's not considered as an actor. So for the longest time, I always want to bring something new to all my roles, as well as, when you try to be different in all your roles, you also have to be different in martial arts. It has to come in parallels, right? So every film, and I try not to look back or try not to be too overwhelmed by if that film does become semi-successful. I try to be as grounded as possible and try to move on and do everything all over again. So when I did SPL, I basically threw everything in the back and said, never mind what I did before. It was upon a time in China, and Tiger Cage or whatever. And I said to myself, what can I do that I never done before? Not so much as in, how many kicks in the air I'm going to do, right? It's not about that, but it's about the whole combination of everything. Right? And then from SPL, then Flashpoint, then Ip Man, when I finished SPL and Flashpoint, and I was about to do Ip Man, there was a lot of skepticism about me playing Ip Man, and everyone was telling me that, especially, honestly, with Wong Kar-wai was, everybody know Wong Kar-wai is going to do Ip Man, and he said to both me and Wilson, right, that we would not be successful doing Ip Man. Then, it actually motivated me more, and I said, I wanted to prove everybody wrong, and I stay focused and eating one meal a day, because to get into the character, I want to look the part, and did a lot of research, and through all my martial arts, during those few years, I was doing more contemporary films, which was combinations of kickboxing, MMA, whatever. Basically, I told myself, empty your mind, right? And I was focusing on just Wing Chun style as a martial art, but as character playing, I was, again, eating one meal a day, walking like a man. I mean, I literally had the Ip Man outfit at home, walking around my wife.
So they were told they wouldn't be successful doing Ip Man. Was that right, you guys? Should have been successful? What do you think? Yes?
I still have my company, and I wanted to write, back in the mid '90s, and despite the economy back in Asia, right before the stock crisis, and I had a very, very tight. Talking about small budget, I mean, I shot the film under half the 400,000 US, something like that, right? And I actually, with Ballistic Kiss, I actually didn't even finish the film, right? I spent 4 months in the editing room trying to put all the rushes together, put all the footage together, and make sense of a story. And I didn't have any. I pretty much did everything myself, because I couldn't pay anybody. There was no editor, so I learned how to use the Steam Back, which is the editing machine. Nowadays, Final Cut, you cut your own thing, put it on YouTube, and whatever. Back in the old days, it was more of a, you got to do all that. I spent 3 months again, sitting inside this little tiny Steam Back editing room and trying to figure out what the hell is this, I mean, the whole thing didn't make any sense. And back and forth, one frame, another frame, and it kept cutting. And spent a couple months, finally put something that maybe it would work or maybe not, right? But then after that, I realized I didn't have any money to do anything else, no music, no comps. So I actually went to one of those library music, what do you call it, a bank library, yeah, that you can pay with maybe $1,000 US. You get all the, no box office. It was really horrible. After all that, I spent I turned down 10 movies, by the way, to do that film. If I look back, I should have taken those 10 movies. But anyway, you know what? The story I learned from this is that 6 months later, I got a call from this Tokyo, not Tokyo, Hokkaido, one Japanese film festival, and they called me up and they said, Ballistic Kiss, a film you directed 6 months ago, just got nominated in, you're up as the best young director. So that I felt, my God, I felt God listening. I said, wow, Actually, I literally had tears in my eyes. I was like, oh my goodness, When everybody left me, when I was alone in that editing room, I said to myself, well, this is the way out, right? But then, later on, this happened. That really taught me even another lesson of just being persistent and trying to pursue your dreams. And I guess that I went through all that, that's, and then later on, of course, the whole Ip situation. So, back to Ip story, and somebody told me Ip Man, and I said, I don't have to get long shot for Ip Man, so I can do Ip Man. And after Ip Man, I can do Monkey King. So that's kind of some of the backstory.
You mentioned your musical background a little bit. Will we ever see you break dance again?
Actually, I did a comedy, right? In Hong Kong, during Chinese New Year, we have these comedy movies. So the audience can bring the family, they will laugh, But because in the past, nobody would ask me to be in a comedy, right? But because of the whole successful outcome of Ip Man, all the producers were asking me to do any type of movie, just to be in the movie, right? Or to stand here, or just one word or whatever. And I was offered the comedy roles, right? And I said, let me try, So I watched a lot of Jack Black movies, The School of Rock, right? All those movies trying to be funny. But anyway, I did that movie, and I played a rock star. I learned how to play the guitar. Again, don't let anybody tell you can't do it, because if you put your heart to it, you can do it. I learned how to play guitar in 2 months. And I was actually playing and singing too. And I had a little, kind of like an MTV clips in the film. And the director was asking me, like, what do you want to do with this? And I said, you know what? Have you watched Soul Train? That's some Soul Train, right? So got this afro. So if you guys want to watch that, you can go on YouTube. You probably can find the clips. So I did a little bit dancing. That was the last dancing